to do, what could potentially go wrong. That's all it's asking you to do. It's just literally taking a step back and thinking about what it is you're doing before you actually go and do it. Because at the end of the day, it's you that's going to get injured if at the end of the day. To me, this is just all paperwork. All this is just paperwork. It's you that's going to get injured, not me. We put these processes in place to try and stop you from being injured. And it's not just, you've got 30 years experience. Bros doesn't. Richard doesn't.
So where does common sense come into it?
Common sense doesn't exist. It's false. It doesn't exist because we're all different. We're all come from different backgrounds. What I may perceive to be common sense, Bros may have a completely different take on it. You may have a completely different take on it. There's always a million ways that you can do a particular task. One way isn't always the best way or the most efficient or the safest, or you can have the most efficient way, but it may be the most expensive, or it could be the most dangerous. Common sense doesn't actually exist, Dan. You've got a different background to me. You know, you're seeing things from an operator's perspective. I'm seeing it from a process point of view, a safety point of view, keeping you safe. So straight away, we're seeing it from a task from different perspectives.
You're saying common sense doesn't exist, so you're going to treat me as an idiot then?
No,
and you
it's
want
not
me to
about
write something on a
it's
bit
not
of paper
about
as an
treating you
idiot?
as an idiot.
Well, that's what you're saying.
No, it's not.
It is. If you can't expect me to use my common sense and determine what's safe and what's not, yet you'll want me to write something on a bit of paper to say that something is unsafe to do, or there might be a potential unsafe thing that would happen if I followed through with that task. But yet, I can't think that.
It's also a requirement of the legislation. This is legislation, this is law. That we have to
Whose
have
law?
It's New Zealand law. It's New Zealand law. It was brought in 2015.
Okay, well, it's going to take me about lunchtime to fill a few of those out then.
Okay. As long as it takes.
Yep.
That's okay.
Can we move on and get onto a sample and
Yep.
Just give the guys a couple of samples.
So, Richard, water cut. So, do you want to fill that in? As if you're doing a water cut. So, first question is...
What am I about to do?
Okay.
What task am I about to do?
Water the road.
Water the road. What could go wrong? Could run someone over.
Yep.
You only need to lift maybe one major each time.
Yeah.
How could this affect or endanger others?
If you run someone over, it potentially be a
People die.
fatality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fatality. What can I do to keep everyone safe? What's the
Evacuate the
spotters?
site.
Yep, so you've got the spotters, 10k speed limit, headlights, beacons.
I go slower than 10k.
Yep.
Headlights on. Hazard light on. Spotters. And watch out for people.
Yeah.
Watch out for idiots.
Because I've always got people fucking around.
So if he's doing the application every day,
Yep.
does he fill one out every day, or is it?
Just do it first thing in the morning. Something might have changed. And the hazard may not be running somebody over. It could be that there's a crane down there with a...
And I see you don't even need to write your name on here.
No. Because it's not about the individual, it's about the actual... it's about the task and the process and the risks associated with it.
So what's all this on the back then?
That on the back is the risk assessment part of it. Don't worry about that right now, okay? All I want you to focus on is that first front bit, okay?
So if he's doing the same thing every day, like
So if you come in and your duties for the entire day is just on that water cart, just do it first thing in the morning. If you stop on the water cart and you go off and do something else, such as, you know, operating the what do you call it, Maruka, obviously that's going to potentially have different things. So just do another one.
I'll go and get you half a dozen of these.
Yep.
a day.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is, so if he's doing the same thing every day, every morning does he write
Yeah.
the same thing down?
Again, they may have changed. The hazards may have changed.
But those hazards that he's just put down is pretty much the
That's
same
pretty
every
much gonna
day.
be the same thing. Yeah.
So would he write the same thing every
At
day
the
if
moment-
you couldn't?
At the moment, yeah. Because it's more about getting you into the habit, not necessarily of filling in the paperwork. It's about thinking about your surroundings and what's going on. That's the purpose. There's a higher level of purpose behind these. Getting you to step back and actually think about what could go wrong.
Yeah.
That's the purpose behind them.
How does he know what hazards there are unless he's out on the water cart? He'd have to go pre-walk the site.
Well, we did discuss them. That's what we do.
That's why you have a conversation with Rocky.
So
Basically
every morning when I fill one of those out, I'll fill it out and then take it to Brocky, or I'll go to Brocky and say, look, I'm about to do this task, we need to fill out this.
Well, he would have assigned you that task anyway. Yep. So all it is just making sure that you're aware of what's going on.
So when he assigns me a task, I
Put that in
say,
your pocket because we have to drive the water cut today.
when he assigns me a task, I said, okay, sweet, so what are the potential hazards that this task will happen
yeah,
today?
and we can discuss them.
Have them with him, and he'll get pissed off because at some point he's going to be under the point and he'll just say, "Fucking go off and do it." That's when you need to say, "No, Brocky." But it's not about over-analysing it as well. It's not about being stupid with it. It's about being reasonable with it and actually focusing on the big stuff that's actually going to thing. You know, as a competent operator, predominantly what the hazards are, and if you don't, then that brings up other questions. You know, it's about going, okay, well, the things that could go wrong here are hitting somebody. Stan being on the excavator, you know, the things that could go wrong here, if I'm in that zone of influence from the bottom, is there a potential for that banking to give way? Do I need to move back? You know, if we're reversing trucks to tip off on the edge of a face, what could actually go wrong here? You know, it's that stuff, it's thinking about what you're actually doing before you actually do it.